Welcome to another virtual adult improv show with the LA Connection players. Today it's the 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Sunday team. So if you want to follow this team, go to LAC Comedy on YouTube and just look up Sunday 5 p.m. We have a lot of new people on today. It's very exciting because half the cast is brand new, never done a show with us before, and that's pretty exciting for us as well. I'm Ken Scove, the founder and owner of the LA Connection, founded back in 1977. We're 44 years going strong, and good news, we're going to get to reopen to the general public in August out here in Burbank. So if you come out here to Burbank, come see a live show. Let's introduce the cast today. We have Alex, who's the first show with us.
Hi, guys.
We have Maddie. It's her first show with.
Hi, everyone.
We have Shelly.
Thanks for coming, y'all.
Andrea.
Ciao. Thank you for coming.
Michaela.
Hello, I'm excited.
First show, Karush.
Hello, how are you guys?
First show, Samantha.
Hi, hope everyone's well today.
And first show, Grace.
Thanks for coming.
So we got some great games on today. We got a challenge game, which you'll find out what that's like in just a moment. Then we have phobias, where we all have fears of certain things, but these phobias are different than your normal phobias, like fear of heights, fear of dentists, fear of bridges, fear of claustrophobia, stuff like that. Then we have Judge Ken, our takeoff of Judge Judy. We have a park bench where people have to actually take on the impression of the other person's character. And we have a talk show. It's a very odd talk show with a lot of odd people on it today. And then a takeoff of the game show, This Is Your Life. So let's just jump into it right now with challenge. The challenge cast is going to be pizza versus hamburgers. Pizza versus hamburgers. Okay, so Michaela, why don't you kick it off right now and tell us which one you like better. And when anybody wants to challenge, just raise your head, unmute, and challenge.
I would definitely say pizza is better than hamburgers because pizza is more versatile. You can put different toppings on it. You can change up the crust. You can, pretend that you're in a completely different country with pizza. Hamburgers are just American. So.
I'm going to challenge that. I think.
Okay, Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that staying in your own country is so much better than traveling the world, like going to other countries. I mean, why would you even do that when you can just sit on your own couch in the comfort of your own home? I mean, there's really no point. I mean, you got to wait in line at the airport.
Oh, Andrea wants to challenge you. Go ahead, Andrea.
I think the couch, the concept of the couch is really overrated. Because if you can lie on your bed, why do you even need a couch? You can lie on your bed. You can have like your snacks close to you. Next to you.
Oh, Karush wants to challenge that. Go ahead, Karush.
I'm going to challenge that because, buddy, when you're lying in your bed, you can be doing a whole lot of things, but it's when you're walking around the house that's when things get done. There's only one or two things you can really do when you're lying in your bed. You know, you can probably be reading, or you can be doing things to yourself or to someone else or to two other people. Or
Grace, go ahead. She wants to challenge that. Go ahead.
I'm going to challenge that. I think being in your bed, you can do so much more than you expect. And truthfully, there's nothing I want to do more than eat pizza in my bed. Truthfully, I eat pizza in my bed. I feed pizza to my partner because what more can you do? Truthfully, I don't want to walk around my house.
Oh, Samantha, go ahead.
I'm going to challenge that. I think tables are better than the bed because not only can you eat, you can feed people, you can sit down, which is something you can only do on a chair for a table. If you wanted to, you could even sit on the table.
Go ahead, Shelly, challenge that.
Hang out with people.
Well, I'm going to challenge this concept of chairs. Chairs being so conventional. You know, let's expand. Why don't we try maybe a beanbag chair? Pull that up to your table. Feed your partner
Michaela
pizza.
wants to challenge that. Go ahead.
I think chairs and beanbag chairs, it's all a chair. They're very elitist. Not everyone can afford a place to sit. Why not just sit on the ground? that God Himself created for us. I mean, it's perfectly free. You can just plop right on down. You don't even have to buy anything. I'm just saying, there's nothing better than a good
Karush,
old
go ahead.
floor, and it's good for the posture.
I got to challenge this whole thing. You're telling me that God likes pizza? God likes pizza. When there's a hamburger sitting there, He's going to go with pizza? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense to me because, God, the Lord above, as we know Him, He's created the animals and the vegetables that are in a hamburger. Now, on a pizza, it's all preservative. It's all condensed stuff. It's stuff that's just not healthy for us.
Go ahead, Shelley.
God is a hamburger fan.
A real problem with vegetables. I don't want vegetables mixing with my meat. Okay, they should be completely separate. Hamburgers can start to kind of be a little chewy. I want my vegetables crisp. So I don't think they should be together on the plate. It's very bad. And bad.
What does Grace think?
I'm just going to challenge that because God Himself in John 3:14, He said that a hamburger is more superior to pizza. And I deeply feel that as a priest myself.
I don't think Samantha feels that. Go ahead, Samantha.
I'm going to challenge that. I think burgers are just grounded up compared to a hot dog, even though a hot dog is grounded up too. It has a better name. Like, what the hell is a hamburger? A ham? Like, what? Like, at least with the hot dog, it's all hot.
Andrea, go ahead and challenge that.
Why do we even need names? I mean, it's something is important for is its essence, like the taste of a hamburger, not its name. Even in Romeo and Juliet, Juliet says like a rose doesn't smell because you call it a rose. Like, why do we even need names? This is crazy. It's very.
You're right, Andrea. I think you're correct. We don't need names. We don't even need pronouns: he, she, they, it. The world is changing. We don't need names for a hamburger. Just go to there and say, I want that, and point. Okay, point at the menu. I think that's the answer now. We're all just going to, even though pointing's bad and rude, we're just going to start pointing at menu items. Okay, let's move on to phobias. This is a cast piece. We all have phobias, and I have a number of people in here today with me that have come on my Zoom call to deal with their personal phobias. So let's bring them all up right now and just take a look at Alex has a phobia. Alex, your phobia is with Twinkies?
Oh my gosh! Don't even talk about Twinkies. I mean, they last for God knows how long. I mean, people say they last for 30 plus years. That's not natural.
Okay, so you think that the filling could be up to 30 years old when you're eating it?
Oh my gosh! Like you have the Twinkie. Who knows? I mean, it could have been made yesterday. It could have been made 10 years ago. It could have been made any time in between. Someone who could have been dead could have made this exact Twinkie that you have in your hand. And you tell me where that says that it is natural.
So, how did this phobia develop?
When I was about 5 years old, I had my very first Twinkie. I got to see it, and even then, I was like, this doesn't look too appealing to me. And I took one bite, and projectile vomit just everywhere. And ever since, just the thought of it, just the sight brings back that same sensation. I can intake vegetables, meat, anything like that. But God, you got one Twinkie, and it's gone. It's a no.
Okay, all right. Well, it's not that healthy for you anyway, so I guess if I had to have a phobia, that's a pretty good one to have. Let's move over to Maddie now. Maddie, so your phobia is mirrors.
Well, I mean, it all started when my dad came home one day and he placed this big piece of glass in front of me, and I just looked, and then everything just started to melt. Has it ever happened to you? You just look at yourself in a mirror and your face just completely disintegrates. All the skin falls off of your bones.
No, that's never really happened to me, Maddie. It sounds like you have quite an imagination. So you have never seen yourself in a mirror except for the mirror your father brought home?
No, yeah, it just all started with the mirror that my father brought home that one day. I'll never forget it. It was the first time was the first time, he told me that he loved me. He brought home this beautiful gold mirror, and he said, "You need to look at yourself in the face." And I said, "Dad, I just want you to love me. So, of course, I'll look at myself in the mirror." And my face, it just completely melted. It just melted. And I just don't know what I look like, I don't know. Do you know what that's like? Like,
It sounds like you were kind of having a mirage or something like that, because you're still here. You're not melted. But I also read here on your profile that you've ripped out all the mirrors on your car. So you don't have any side mirrors. You don't even have the mirror you can look and see who's behind you. It must be a little weird to drive.
It is, but also it's so comforting. I can't risk looking at myself because I could kill somebody else, I mean, if they see my reflection in a mirror, what will that do to them? Like, I'm always so worried that everyone else's faces are going to start to melt. And it's just, I don't really need to drive anyway. My dad, drives me everywhere. So.
That's good. And you, apparently the college you were in kicked you out because you went into the bathroom and ripped out all the mirrors in their bathrooms?
Oh, yeah. No, they weren't too happy about that. But hey, you know what? I just think it was better off for everybody. Who really needs to look at themselves,
Well, we'd have less narcissists probably, so you're correct there. So thank you, Maddie. We're going to now move over to Shelley. Shelley. There's Shelley. Okay, so Shelley, plates. You have a phobia of plates?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I worked in a plate factory for a very long time, and I made all different kinds of plates: paper plates, china plates, decorative plates, all of the many different materials and sizes of plates. The responsibility of making sure those plates don't throw food on the ground. It's a lot for one person to handle. And now I go out places I can't go out to eat unless it's a Happy Meal and I can eat that from a box. But I can't go into people's homes because they, oftentimes they do have some sort of decorative plate. It's hard. It is. It's really hard. I can't even look at a tray.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently your profile says you went into a restaurant on a date with somebody and you asked them to just throw your food on the table, and you ate all the food off the table instead of the plate.
Well, what else was I to do? Right? I asked first just for a cutting board, but they wouldn't let me have one. I asked next for just to eat it out of a paper bag. And again, I understand fine dining, but I'm not fancy. I think that was the only option that I had if I was going to make it through that. And
what did your date feel?
I did this a cup. Well, how did my
date feel about that? Yeah, when you just unloaded all your food on the table.
He did ask me out again. And this time we went for ribs, barbecue. We had soft shell crab, anything that we could eat with our hands and put directly on the table. And that's how I know when someone can really connect with me. They're not put off by me only wanting to eat out of cups or, perhaps a dog dish.
Okay. All right. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shelley. Mm-hmm. I think the dog dish, I'll move on from you from there. Let's go to Andrea. Andrea, you have a fear of toilets.
Yeah. Actually, nobody believes me, but there was a ghost in my toilet when I was in my first house. Yes. Yeah. I used to live in the country until I was 7 years old. And it was a nice house with a nice garden, backyard, really big. That's why I call it garden. And my dad used to take a nap on the couch on the afternoons. And I when I had to pee, I needed to go in the dark in that bathroom. And I saw the toilet, and there was like a ghost, a blue ghost, just small, and chubby, coming out of the toilet. And of course, I was terrified. So I used to, pee in the garbage can in the kitchen. And of course, my dad was really mad at me all the time. But I mean, you can totally live without toilets. Like you can use, cans, you can use bottles, and it's even easier. Like I live with roommates, and I never have the problem that if I have to pee, I need to see if the bath, because we only have one bathroom with many rooms, it happens in New York. But I always have my bottles. It's not only one. They are cute, they are colored. Like I usually use the pink one. I don't know why, but the pink one is reassuring to me. Probably because the ghost was blue. I don't know. It's something chromatic, something. I don't know. And it's very, I can pee when in the traffic jam. I can pee on the train. In the subway, I take the subway, I take the train. When it's really packed, we are that packed that if I go pee in a small bottle, nobody notices. So, and I'm the only
what
one.
What about
so
number two, Andrea? What about number two? You've only talked about peeing. How do you do number two? Where do you go for that?
I mean, that's a good question, but the answer is very easy. Like human beings, they didn't have toilets for millions of years. Maybe, I don't know, millions, maybe 100,000. I don't know. That's debatable. But I mean, you just go and that's why I love the backyard in my first house. So now I have roommates, but I always need a backyard. And I don't know, I feel free. I don't know how people can, when they need to do to poop, they can go like in a small room and all. You see, I cannot even think about that. I need to go out.
The ghost. The ghost, by the way, was the tidy bowl man. That's who the ghost was. Okay, the tidy bowl man. Yeah. All right, I'm going to move on from you. I'm not going to have you over for a barbecue because the backyard would be terrible. Michaela, so you hate a phobia of back hair. So people who have back hair, I'm assuming this is mainly men.
Yeah, it's always men, isn't it? Well, I mean, I guess, I've been trying to work through this with my therapist. Like, what was that first initial thing that really ticked me and really set me off about back hair? But I have these dreams that like that it's growing and then it encompasses me and it chokes me and it gets into my mouth and Sorry.
Wow, you're scaring me so much. Your internet's having problems. This whole back hair thing. But didn't you go out with a guy and then your hair got entwined in his back hair, and then when you woke up in the morning, we were stuck together?
Yeah, and it was just, we had to cut it out with scissors, and so my hair got cut off. I mean, it's finally long now because I don't talk to guys anymore. Pretty much just cut them off because I can't run into that problem again.
Well, aren't you, when you go out with a guy, the first thing you do is ask him to take his shirt off, and if he's got too much back hair, you nair it or you wax it?
Yes. Well, actually, I have him do it. Like, I'm like, hey, you have to ask your friend. I'm not even gonna touch it. It's like it's sticky and like crinkly. I think the sensation of it is just too much for me.
Yeah.
I'm just scared that it's gonna like devour me one day. I don't know, but I can't have that happen.
Never heard of back hair described as crinkly, but I'll keep that in mind. Well, thank you, Michaela. We're gonna move on now to Karush. So cows. You have a phobia of cows.
You have no idea. These little things, they're everywhere. How are they? And you smell them, things that comes out. How does one animal create such a smell? It is the most wretched, horrifying creature on this planet. I don't even know why we haven't tried to make them extinct by now. They're disgusting. I was a kid once, and a cow decided to come. You know, they wanted me to milk it, and the next thing I know, you know, it turned out it was a bull. You know, that was pretty. After that, I just didn't. That really, but
well, I think milking a bull would. I don't think you're actually milking the bull, if you know what I'm saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because the thing is, it let me do it, so I was like, you know, maybe. So I think the fact that the cows have an affinity with me, that's really bothers me, really scares me. I think we should just wipe the earth clean of them. That's my.
Well, it scares me that you might be a bullophile.
Hey, I mean, listen, I don't go after them. They like me. That doesn't make it's not a two-way thing. Just because somebody likes me doesn't mean that doesn't go that way. That's why we should have more.
I understand you don't wear any leather either.
No, absolutely. I don't like anything. The concept, horns, bells, the whole thing. It's just a disgusting and it's the fertilizer, everything. Just get rid of them. The methane gas. There's no reason for this creature. None. We can eat them if we want. Let's just make all hamburgers and be done with it.
Okay.
Simple.
So you should probably start hanging out with AOC because she wants to get rid of cows because of the flatulence. It's bad for global warming.
And that's why I voted for her. Absolutely.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to move on to Samantha. So Samantha, spoons. You have a fear of spoons?
Yeah. Honestly, every time I look at a spoon, it freaks me out how smooth it is. Like, in a way, I'm so scared of it that I'm jealous at the same time that something could feel that smooth. I want to feel as smooth as a spoon. Like, okay, so when I was little, I was looking through this magazine, People's Choice, and as I was looking through it, one of the quotes was smooth as a spoon. So then from that day on, I just thought to myself, you know, that really must mean something deep. So I wanted to just match the standards to be as smooth as a spoon.
And apparently when you were going out with your last boyfriend, he wanted to spoon you. And that's why you split up with him?
Yeah, like I don't know what he was going through in his head. Like I was very rough that day and he wanted to spoon me. Like, no, spooning is something that comes from yourself. It's not a one-person activity. No, I mean, it's not a two-person activity. You know, I'm just so into the idea of spooning that it's a one-person activity.
My last question to you, how do you eat cereal?
Oh, I eat cereal with forks.
With a fork. That must be really good to retain the milk. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well.
It's great.
Yeah, if you're lactose intolerant. Okay, well, thank you, Samantha. Let's move on now to Grace. Grace is my last one. You have a fear of beds. Where do you sleep, Grace?
Honestly, I know it sounds a little bit off, but for me, I sleep in a tent. Out here in Los Angeles, it's really cheap. It's a lot cheaper for me to have this lifestyle. I'm saving a lot of money. I love the tent life. Van life is for some people, but tent life is kind of my thing. I love it. I save a lot of money, but at the same point in time, it's affecting my dating life when I go on a date and I bring my date back to my tent on Skid Row and he's just like, this is where you live. And I'm like, yeah, like, do you have a problem with that? And I don't know, just like beds don't do it for me. Even saying it, it makes me emotional. It makes me emotional.
When's the last time you actually laid in a bed?
I vividly remember it. It was third grade. I had a sleepover with Jessica, and she forced me to sleep in her bunk bed with her. And I was like, I can't. And I was like, I called my mom, and I was like, what do I do? And she was like, just sleep in the bed, Grace. Be normal. And I was like, Mom, I can't. And you know what?
And what happened there is she made you sleep in the top bunk, and you rolled out of it and fell, and then broke your ankle. And this is how this fear got even worse.
It is. I fell through the bed. I fell through the bunk, right onto my neck, and I was in a brace. For over 3 years. So I'm a little bit triggered by this, most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it'd be interesting if you ever went to a hotel, you'd sleep on the floor.
Most definitely. That's not even a question. I bring my tent also most places I go. That's why I love it. Like, I can bring that thing anywhere. Like, it's super affordable. Right. I love it. It's not a problem for me.
Well, listen, all you guys, I don't know if I can help you with your phobias. I appreciate you coming on my show today and at least, exposing your deepest fears. And we'll have you all come back in 30 days and see if we can make some progress with you. And I thank you for all being here today. And now we're going to move on to Judge Kent. So the cast I need for this is the plaintiff will be Shelley, the defendant will be Andrea, the witness for Shelley, the plaintiff will be Michaela, and the witness for the defendant, Andrea, will be Karush. Everybody else can minimize themselves. I'll keep the four of you out here. And just hit your camera, Grace. There you go. Okay. All right. So this is a case where the plaintiff, Shelley, is suing the defendant, Andrea, because she asked Andrea to watch her garden snake, and a very rare garden snake she had. And it's one you can get at pet stores. It's not a wild garden snake. And she was very close to this garden snake. And apparently she went away for 2 days, asked Andrea to watch the snake. When she came back, the snake was missing. So let's see if we can find out exactly what happened to the snake. So Shelley, how do you know Andrea, first of all?
Your Honor, this man is fraud. This man is a fraud. He answered an ad for me where he specified that he would house sit reptiles, that was what he did. Geckos, I spoke to a reference of his who he cared very nicely for a lizard, but I came back from my trip and all that was there was the skin. The snake had molted.
Skin. Wow. Okay, Andrea, so you answered, she answered an ad that you put out, that you work with reptiles, okay?
I'm an expert.
So you came over and she hired you and then went away. What happened from that point on with the snake?
Of course, like she said, just she doesn't understand because she's not an expert of reptiles like me. Actually, the snake just took off her skin because now the snake, which is a beautiful girl, I think like compared to human beings, she's like 16. It's a perfect age, and she just want to have fun, and she's in love, and she's just probably dating some other snake, and she'll be back in a couple of days. Like it's normal. But Shelley doesn't want to pay me because she doesn't understand, and she says that I made the snake disappear, which is not true.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So you're saying that you let the snake roam around out of its quarters, because obviously the snake was in kind of a contained area, and you let the snake out?
I have to. That's abusive. I'm sure, like, I don't know. I think in some cities in Australia that's illegal. Maybe in New Zealand. I don't know here. But, I mean, I have to. I have to open it. Because, you know, when the snake is in love, that's too abusive, like to keep her in a box. But I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, so you let the snake out to find love, but you think the snake is going to come back. All right, well, let's go to the plaintiff witness, Michaela. How do you know Shelley?
Well, Shelley and I are neighbors. I live across the street from her, so we like to wave to each other every now and then whenever we're, getting ready to go out to work, whenever. But we've been living across from the street from each other for about 5 years now, so we're pretty close. Yeah.
Okay, did you see the snake outside of her house at any time?
Well, I never saw it outside. She would talk to me about the snake. The only time I ever saw the snake outside was with the defendant, Andrea. She was out of town. She was gone, and I saw him with this big box with the snake inside. You could see it was the ecosystem. She had it all set up, and he just dumped the snake out. I didn't
on the
say
front
anything.
lawn. He dumped it. You saw him dump the snake out on the front lawn. Okay.
I did.
Okay,
and I
thank you.
didn't say anything because what was I supposed to say? But I saw him. Did see.
Okay, that's very, very good information. Okay, Karush, how do you know the defendant, Andrea?
He's my husband, so and he's a wonderful man, and he knows snakes, reptiles, all this stuff. And I don't know what these two are talking about, but I'll tell you. Look, when a snake, Your Honor, needs to do its thing, it's like a 16-year-old snake. Like, all of us have been there, okay? And so, like, when they need to, like, take their clothes off and run free and be, like, a little sexy, you can't stop that. Love is in the air. It's springtime, and my man just wants to do what he can to help the ecosystem. So these two need to just lay off. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I think I've heard enough to make a ruling here. Shelley, I hate to say this, but Andrea has your snake. Him and his partner took the snake back to their house. You can tell by the defendant witness, the way he just acted, he obviously likes the snake, and he convinced Andrea to bring him a gift of the snake, the rare snake, and that way it just opened up their fun life, as so to say, by having a snake to watch while they did their nasty. So Karush, why don't you? Yeah. So Karush, go ahead and come clean. Just tell him that you just admit you and Andrea had a plan to get the snake to your house.
Well, it's not a plan. It's what the snake wants. It's what we want. If everyone was happy, would you like to be living in a box? Our snake lives gloriously. He's got a little shrine we built for him, and we call him Moo. And I have a little sweater for him. It doesn't really stay on.
Karush.
What?
Karush, hold on. He said that Andrea said the snake was a female. And now you want to just rename it as a male. So listen, you can just change what the snake's sex is just because you want to. He's acting as a male.
I didn't change it. The snake wants a pronoun as a him. Okay, so it's not.
Okay.
Listen, where we are nowadays, are you gonna try to delineate gender? No, I don't think so. So I think we'll let the snake pick what he wants to be. Thank you.
Okay, non-binary snake. Okay. Well, even the snakes can be that way. So, Andrea, you're going to have to, you and your partner, who obviously has the snake in possession, you're going to have to return the snake to her. And I'm also going to have you give $200 to her for her misery and feeling bad about that. And that way, her and Michaela can go out and have a nice dinner for being so honest. And you and your partner, boy, you're something else. Okay, this case is closed. This has been Judge Kent. All right, we're moving on now to the park bench. The park bench is going to have Madison, Alex, Samantha, and Grace. So if you guys can come on out here, everybody else can minimize themselves. And the way this game's going to play is Madison's going to be in the number 1 position. Alex is going to be in the number 2 position. Samantha 3, and Grace 4. Now, what will happen here is each time they come in, they'll be talking about July 4th will be their theme. Anything to do with July 4th. Barbecues, fireworks, anything fun. And when I say rotate, the person who comes into the scene will have a character. And the person who's out there has to impersonate that particular character. So to begin with, we'll start with Maddie and Alex. and it will be Alex's character that Maddie will have to impersonate. And then when I say rotate, Samantha will come in, and then Alex will have to impersonate Samantha, and then Grace, and so on until we have Maddie come back in for the big finale. So let's just minimize myself, Samantha, and Grace. Okay, and go ahead and minimize yourself there, Grace. And the theme again will be July 4th. Anything to do with July 4th? Okay, so Maddie, take it away with your character. Both unmute yourself. Here we go.
Did you know that July 4th is the holiday that celebrates the snake?
Oh, the snake. Yes, in fact I did know that. And I would love to play the clarinet for the snake. I don't have my clarinet, but sometime I would love to.
He really likes the clarinet. He's quite frightened. He's wearing a little sweater. I would let you see, but he is a little shy. It's red, white, and blue. Very, very festive little snake.
Perfectly matches the July 4th weekend.
Oh yes, very, very nice. He likes to barbecue. He likes to take his skin and lay out on the tar on the hot summer 4th of July day.
You could even paint the skin, and he could wear it as a cape.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be good. Lovely.
Okay, we're going to rotate, but Alex, you'll go out this time. Maddie, you stay out here because you did your character already. So Alex, rotate. You'll be coming in last, and let's bring in Samantha now, and Maddie will have to be doing Samantha's character. Unmute.
Hello.
Hello.
I think I had a little much helium. I'm a little high on helium right now. Everything's so blurry.
Well, red, white, and better than you.
Oh my god. I also think I had a brownie that was laced a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit?
Yeah, it was laced a little bit. It's all
Rotate.
colorful.
Grace in, Maddie out. Stay out, Samantha. Unmute. Unmute.
I'm doing a new character, correct?
Yes, your character.
Honestly, the 4th of July is just like, truthfully, for me, personally, the best holiday there is in the entire world because it's just like party, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I just literally love to party, and it's just such an amazing day for me because everyone gets drunk, and it's not just me. It's like everyone. Red, white, and blues.
Honestly, like, the 4th of July was the day that I met up with my sorority. We drank a lot. There was this hot guy I met. His name was Dennis, I think. I don't know. I think he could have been Chad, too. But
Chad's my boyfriend.
Oh, no. Chad is my boyfriend. I hate to break it to you, but Chad wanted me first. Yeah.
What sorority is that? You seem like a
Alex in. Samantha out.
Dude, did you hear that Scott held a firework in his hand and his whole finger fell off?
Dude, shut up. I heard he put it in his butthole.
I know, right? Do you dare me to do it?
Dude, honestly, I'll put it in my butthole if you put it in your butthole.
Nah, man. I don't want to put it. Come on, if I put my finger up it.
Dude, have you heard though? Like, if you put booze in your butthole, you get drunk so fast, dude.
No.
Dude, you do.
I do that sometime, man.
You want to do it like now?
It's 4th of July weekend, man.
Okay, well, that was Park Bench. We sure learned something new about how to get drunk. Thank you, ladies. Let's bring everybody out for talk show. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to give them what their talk show oddity is. Each one's got a little oddity. And then I'm going to let you talk about your talk show oddity for up to 1 minute, okay, on your own. No questions. I'll just tell you what it is and just go and tell us how you got involved in whatever it is. So let's start from the bottom this time. We'll start with Shelley. Shelley, you're into time travel. Tell us about that. Oh, unmute yourself. Obviously, your time travel is not teach you how to unmute. There you go.
In a whole Netherlands. This came about when I was watching the H.G. Wells, and it had the beautiful big time machine and the Eloy, and what those awful creatures that would come in, and oh, it was so exciting. So I decided, oh, maybe I should check out some other times. And so I thought about, oh, what about like Back to the Future was another great movie about time travel. So I went back to 1955 and I drank Pepsis and I went to the Hop and I went to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. And then I thought, oh, what other kind of time travel places can I go? So I thought long and hard, and I really thought that I could move forward and I could get one of those cars that hover. And ooh, that was very exciting. I didn't have a movie for that one, but I knew in the future that I would be able to do that one. Oh, and I love to time travel. Like I can go anywhere. I particularly
thank you, Shelley.
like
Thank you.
dinosaurs.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that was a beautiful minute capsulation. Now, Samantha, you live in a rabbit hole. Tell us about that in 1 minute.
So, living in a rabbit hole is very timely because you have to time things when the dirt falls out. But it's inspirational too because you put yourself down in this hole and you have so little to deal with. And it's honestly refreshing because you don't really have to deal with people. You just have to get your own shit together and then you just have to travel to another area, sometimes underground, if that area doesn't really fit. So in a way, it's really flexible and it's been like a very life-changing experience for me. I wish that I started living in a rabbit hole sooner because I hate people, and being around the little rabbits and becoming friends with the rabbits really helped me a lot as I started living down in rabbit holes.
Well, thank you, Samantha. And you have a rabbit's foot, which will always give you good luck there. So, Karush, you have super strength. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's people are always impressed by that, but it's kind of a curse more than anything else. It's like, you can't everywhere. I walk down the street, somebody needs me to help lift something. I'm like, go get a mover, man. I got shit to do. And sure, there's the benefits of when I was younger, I could show off and everything, but now it's just like people lining up outside my house. They're like, then I gotta try to get out of here. And then the problem with it is, the other problem with it is super strength is, at the end of the day, what can you really do with it? You can break through shit. You can carry things around a lot. So you're a work monkey. That's what it is. At the end of the day, people just coming to you and they want you to do their heavy lifting for them. No pun intended. And it's just not, I just need a day off here and there. And there's not much else I can do with it than, lift refrigerators or carry rhinoceroses when when they're sick. I got to go to the zoo. They want me to do that nowadays. And it's burdensome.
Well, thank you, Karush, for sharing that with us. So, Michaela, you have a third eye underneath the hair in the back of your head. Tell us about that.
Oh, the third eye. It is it's a blessing to have. I can keep an eye, pun intended, on everyone behind me. So anytime, here's a little story for you. So one time I was walking alone on the street in New York and some guy decided to try to rob me. Oh, but I saw it coming. So turned around, chopped it up, and I was able to get away. It's really good thing to have. I can also, I don't have to like burden myself with turning around and remembering where things are. Like I can just see. I don't want to say that I'm better than people, but I do. This skill has just made me a little more confident than I think of any other person with only two eyes. I mean, there's just something so amazing.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That is amazing. No one sneak up on you. Let's go over to Andrea. So, Andrea, you entered a hot dog contest and once ate a mile-long hot dog. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it started with my dad. Like my dad, like he used to do this context, and actually he used to win money, and but it was a lot about fun. So I don't know, I've been really lucky because in my family we always had this thing about eating more than anyone else. I don't know, there's something good or wrong, depends on the point of view, with our metabolism. And but I have to do it. Like it's like addictive. It's a good thing, but it's addictive. So if someone invites me over, I need to eat anything on the table as fast as I can. And sometimes I don't understand. Like they get offended. They get a little like, what are you doing? I don't know. When I'm on a date, lately when we go to dinner, I need to eat faster than the girl, and that's not a big deal. But then I start stealing from because that's what we do, and it's addictive. I tell you, it's addictive. So I try to when I'm on a date to go like to the movies, but it's eventually you always have like a snack like popcorn, and I have to do that. So now I'm very connected with myself. I'm aware of how I feel, and eventually I will find the right one for me, and she will accept me for what I am.
Okay.
Or maybe she's gonna eat fast. I don't know.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'd hate to be your toilet. Let's move over to Maddie. So he eats all the time, but you don't eat or drink anything. How can you survive without eating or drinking anything? Can you tell us that in a minute?
Absolutely. So I live off of air. It's great. I can float anywhere that I want to. I'm tied down right now. Otherwise, I would just be, up in the sky. But yeah, no, it's really cool actually. I'm not eating or drinking anything. I get a little nauseous and a little woozy sometimes, but boy, I tell you, just floating up in the clouds on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, Monday, Tuesday, honestly, every day of the week. You can't really takes a lot to tie me down these days. I've got my legs shackled here. You can't really see it, but it can be a little grounding, I guess you could say. It really keeps me level-headed when I'm down here on Earth with everyone here. But if you ever get a chance to check out the clouds, they're something beautiful today. Heading up there after this.
You're on permanent fasting. That's fantastic. All right, let's move over to Grace. So Grace, you can swim underwater for as long as you want without breathing?
Yes. Everyone in my town calls me the mermaid. It's a really beautiful thing for me because the ocean is just so vast. You know what I mean? I've always really liked that about the ocean, the mystery of it. So I talked to my doctor, I got a surgery, and I kind of have gills now. People judge me in my town for it, but truthfully, I'm sick of people. I hate them. And just sea creatures, I've always felt a deeper connection with. So the ocean's for me now. And I don't know, I feel pretty unique there. That's just where I thrive. The vastness of the ocean is just a lot better than the land, in my opinion. People don't do it for me. Sea creatures, those are something else. You have a connection.
Well, thank you, Grace. Thanks for sharing that. That was very nice. I bet the dolphins love you. So our last one's Alex. And Alex, you can predict the future. Tell us about that.
Well, I knew you were going to ask that. Predicting the future is something ever since I could even talk. It's been something that I've been able to do. My first example that I can give is I was about 2 years old, and I knew when my diaper was going to be filled, and I was able to cry right on time and be able to let my mom know that, diaper's full. So before it was full, if you get my drift.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, give us one thing that's going to happen, say, over the next year.
Over the next year, I think really with the COVID thing, the masks, they're going away. I know you've been waiting for it. Within the next few months, it should be dying down. I can't give an exact date. It's against my morals to give exact instances in the future, but I can let you know that it's going to happen in the next few months.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank all of you. This is one of the oddest talk shows I've ever done. You all have some very unique talents, and I would be happy to have any one of your talents. So thanks for playing our talk show today. And now we're going to move on to our final piece, which is This Is Your Life. So everybody can exit and minimize themselves. And actually minimize your cameras as well. We'll bring you on, except for Andrea. Come on out, Andrea. Because, Andrea, we brought you down to the studio today. You thought you were going to be playing a game show. Well, it's a game show in a way, but it's a little different game show, Andrea, because we've assembled some people from your past. It could be a relative. It could be somebody you worked with. Could be an ex. We've got them all here today, Andrea, because this is your life. So, Andrea, very excited. Listen to this first voice.
Hello, grandson.
It's your grandmother. Bring her out here and let's have a little story, Grandma, about being around Andrea growing up. Grandma?
Hey, Grandma, how are you? Oh my God, it's been like forever. What it's now, like 2 weeks? We haven't seen in 2 weeks. Yeah.
No.
Like forever.
We haven't. I haven't seen you since the day you ran over your grandfather with the car getting the mail.
Oh, come on. Just, don't take it personally. I just needed it. And
Would you like to say something to him? He's right here in this urn. You must apologize.
All right.
We were just trying to get the mail. Say something.
Oh, all right. I'll tell him. Okay, don't panic. I'll tell him. Okay, I'll tell him. Don't worry.
Stephen, here's.
No. Don't open. Don't open it. Remember, we talked about this.
Okay, Grandma, we're going to bring you back. Go ahead and wait back in the green room. We'll bring you back at the end. Okay, I'm sorry about him running over your husband. Let's hear this second voice.
Well,
you stole my pear tree.
It's your neighbor.
Yeah.
Who happened to move away because of you. Let's hear it. A little story, Alex, about him.
Yeah, so when I say he stole my pear tree, literally he stole it. I mean, my branches were a little bit over on his side. Try to trim it just enough, keep it on my side of the fence. If it was the same in his situation, I'd be upset too. But in the middle of the night, now hear me out, gets ridiculous. He gets a whole chainsaw, wakes up the entire neighborhood, chops down my pear tree, throws it on his side, burns the wood, takes the seeds, plants the seeds on his side of the fence, and grows his own pear tree.
I mean, that's such an evil plan. I mean, it's not. No, I was just taking care of the of the block. I was it's a totally different story. Every once in a while,
my tree.
I mean, if it happened like to grow on my side, like the wind, maybe a seed. I mean, I'm happy that it's going. Actually, it's pretty healthy. It's even healthier than when it was on your side. By the way, but I mean that evil plan that I go, in the middle of the night with a.
You woke me up. What are you talking about?
That's crazy.
It was all you.
Wow. Okay, well, Andrea, we're learning a little bit too much about you. You've killed your grandfather, and now you're stealing and burning down her tree. Okay, well, let's listen to this next voice.
I come over every 2 weeks so you can play with my feather dusters.
It's your housekeeper. Come on out and let's hear some stories about Andre's house.
Yeah. Oh, I know. We have such a connection. We have like so many things in common. I mean, I was just looking for a housekeeper, and then yeah. I mean, it's I'm so in luck. Yeah.
We really like to play when I come over. Andrea likes to pretend he's a chicken, and he,
like this. Yeah.
And we take the bed sheets and we make a fort.
Yeah.
Remember that time when we took all the sheets from all over the house and all the pillows, and we made this giant fort? Do you remember that time?
And tell him that thing with the ashes. That he was asking about the ashes. That's what I love. Tell him the thing with the ashes.
And I apologize because it's my job to clean the baseboards. I didn't know about the ashes.
Yeah,
that's on me.
Yeah, that thing you have in your hand there, Shelley, looks like you could be a fluffer.
There's they say that you can do so much with a Swiffer. So far be it from me to limit Andrea.
And she's so precise because actually, you don't know, I collect ashes, different kind of ashes, like people ashes, tree ashes, plants ashes, or every kind of ashes. Like I'm moving into, also leaves and with kind of smell. And she's great because she can differentiate and put them like in each separate box. Oh my God, she's so talented. Like I cannot do that. Like I've been done this for my whole life, but I don't have her talent in differentiate ashes.
Okay.
Like, so she
all
cleans
right, well,
up
that's very
everything.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, Shelley, we'll bring you back at the end. It sounds like at least he's got one good memory out of the three so far. Let's listen to this next voice.
Hi, big brother. How are you?
It's your little sister. I'm sure she's got a story. Come on out, little sis.
Samantha. Oh my God, Samantha. Oh my God.
Let's hear your story, Samantha.
Samantha,
unmute yourself.
Samantha,
Unmute.
first you
My
need to.
bad.
Yeah, it's so you always do inappropriate things. So either you have to pee in the most important moment, or you turn off your computer by mistake. I mean, I love you, but oh my God, it's so hard, like to be the big brother.
Now, Andrea, this isn't about her. This is about you. So let her tell a story about you.
Oh, you don't want to hear
deflecting.
that. Okay.
I want to hear her story. Okay, let's hear your story, Samantha.
So, I know we haven't had the best memories of each other, and I think the person that you became can be rude. And I wish the best for you, but I just want to reconnect. I mean, I was really nervous coming up here to just speak to you, and I know this is short, but hopefully we can just talk again. Like, I remember before you went off to college, I went to this ice cream place with you. And
the ice cream place. Okay.
It's very pleasant. I remember.
Well, I'm glad you guys have one good memory together. Okay, we got to keep moving along. We'll bring you back out, sis, in just a couple moments. Let's listen to this voice. This could probably make your hair stand up here.
You degenerate deadbeat. You thought I wasn't going to find you? You thought you was just going to get away like this, huh?
How did you find me?
It's your bookie. It's your bookie. Come on out here, bookie.
Let me tell you something about this guy, all right? He's in for too large with me, and then he's got to come in. He tries to clear his debt, and he says, you know what? He knows I need an orange tree, and then I find out he comes to me and he tries to pass a pear tree off as an orange tree, and I'm like, listen, buddy, if you don't get me what I need or the too large, something's gonna happen, and now it's gonna happen today.
Wow. So you gave him the pear tree that you said you were just trying to trim.
This guy.
Yeah, but those are very valuable. I mean, it's just yeah, especially if you burn them, like their ashes, like you can sell them. Like
I'm gonna start liking ashes too pretty soon. The way you're going, let me just
No,
tell
no,
you
no.
that.
Please don't just calm down. Calm down. I have like my strategy. I always go into
I'll just wait for you backstage.
Always on underdogs.
Wow.
Wait,
I think he wants to turn you into ashes. Thank you, Karush. We'll bring you back out.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Please.
thanks, Karush. Now, this is someone who you used to date. Let's listen to this voice.
Hey, you son of a bitch.
Oh, I guess that didn't go well. It's your ex. I'm sure she's got a pretty bad story. Let's hear it.
Hey, Andrea. Yeah, I have a couple of great stories for you. The main thing, though, is that this guy is so untrustworthy. He's a fantastic manipulator and liar. He always said he was just going to go hang out with his friends, go to the movies. But what is he doing? Stealing pear trees, killing his grandfather, being an asshole to his younger sister. He has no respect for women. And honestly, I don't even know how we dated for 2 years. Everything went completely by my head. And I don't trust him at all. So thanks for that. I'm in therapy now because of you.
Oh my God.
Do you have anything to say, or are you just going to make up more excuses?
Listen,
Are you going to be honest?
So I don't respect women. I mean, this is like, no. Listen, Sophia, listen to me.
What?
Michaela, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Can't even get your pose in correct.
No. I've always been like, listen.
Do you see this? Kind of he's just trying to think of a new lie right now because he can't say.
Yeah, I think it'd be better if you don't say anything, Andrea. I think you're in trouble. No, we're not going to hear you out. You're in deep trouble with this goop here. We got one more person. Thank you, Michaela. We'll bring you back out, and you can try and take him down after the show with not only everybody else. Here's the final voice. Listen to this.
Honey, I'm really, really thinking we're going to have to up the dosage of your mood stabilizer.
It's your therapist. Come on out here. She's probably learned a few things about you didn't tell her.
Honey, I've just been taking notes here, and it's been a really beautiful process for me to have to sit here through this. Lots of red flags coming up to me. The biggest one that's really standing out to me is, are you still having a relationship with the feather duster? Are you still intimate with the feather duster? Okay, all right, I'm going to write that down because, sweetie, this has been 3 years now. And also the pretending to be a chicken. How is that going? Is that often? Are you doing that a lot still as well?
How is it, like twice or 2 or 3 times per week?
Okay, that's better than last month. And last thing, you're still eating the ashes. You're still eating ashes.
Yeah, and then smelling like it was like Coke. I don't know why. I love the feeling.
You're snorting it now. You're snorting the ashes.
Yeah.
You're not eating it. That's worse, sweetie. Things are getting a little bit worse here.
I thought it was better.
I'm thinking maybe an institution soon might be the best for you, and I just want to see if you're open to maybe something like that.
I think you got it right. Let's bring everybody out.
Try.
Andrea, these are all the people from your past. I bet your therapist. Let's bring everybody out so we can see them all next to Andrea. Andrea, you're in the middle of everybody like the Brady Bunch right now. Is there anything you'd like to say to all these people before we close the show?
So, it's been a very long day today. I'm really stressed out. I do want to reconnect with Samantha. I really think that my ex-girlfriend Manuela is really too hot to I mean she that's not true that I don't respect women, that I am a liar. So please stop that thing. I feel really bad when you say
Andrea, her name's Michaela. Her name's Michaela, Andrea.
Michaela?
So obviously you've just put your foot in your mouth again. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Andrea's life, and this has been our show. A lot of first-timers today. Let's introduce them. Alex. Good job today, Alex.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
And Grace, her first show with us.
Thanks, guys. I had fun.
And Maddie, her first show with us.
Thanks for a great show, guys.
And our veteran, Andrea.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Michaela, her third show with us.
Thank you for watching.
And Shelly, it's either her second or third show with us.
Second time. Y'all come back now here.
Okay. And Samantha, her first show.
Thank you.
And Karush, his first show.
Thanks a lot, guys. Great show.
Great job for your first show, you five. And we'll see you in 4 weeks with this same cast again with all different fun stuff. So wave goodbye, everybody. We'll see you. Thanks for all your nice comments. I'll read them to the cast after the show.